After witnessing one of the craziest years in Formula One, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was a somewhat underwhelming end to a brilliant 2020 season. Max Verstappen qualified on pole and held the position from race start to race finish, with the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton finishing in second and third behind the Dutchman. Here are our winners and losers from the Abu Dhabi GP. Max Verstappen capped off a very strong Abu Dhabi GP showing after taking pole yesterday and grabbing a dominant win at the Yas Marina circuit. It was a perfect way for Verstappen to finish the season by taking just the third non-Mercedes powered win of 2020, adding to his previous victory at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix at Silverstone. The Mercedes team had no answer to Verstappen's pace as he crossed the line over 15 seconds ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Alex Albon produced one of the strongest weekends of his 2020 season with his future at the team on the line, overtaking Norris in the opening stages for fourth and continued to move closer to Hamilton. However, the Brit was too strong for the Anglo-Thai driver. After winning the Constructors and Drivers' Championship, Mercedes would have been let down by today's second and third place finish. But it was known that the team had turned down their engines to minimise a potential MGU-K problem, and they had Lewis Hamilton not at 100% after battling COVID-19 for the past 2 weeks. This meant that once Max Verstappen was off the line and off into the sunset, Bottas and Hamilton cruised behind the Dutchman, not necessarily edging close to him until the safety car period, but Verstappen would escape again and finish in first. Hamilton had moved close to Bottas in the closing stages of the race, but didn't look like he would have the pace to make a pass, and fell further away in the final laps of the race. It was a solid farewell to Renault for Daniel Ricciardo, perhaps not in podium shoey territory, but still a great way to say goodbye regardless. He had a phenomenal first stint on hard tyres, moving up all the way into 5th after the virtual safety car pit stops, and held on to 7th on mediums after starting from 11th on the grid. The Australian capped off his final race of the 2020 season by grabbing the fastest lap off good friend Max Verstappen, something that would have left a big grid on Ricciardo's face. Winner last Sunday in Bahrain to the first and only race retirement and subsequent loser of the day, Sergio Perez had a thoroughly disappointing end to his tenure at the Silverstone squad. The Mexican already had a fresh power unit penalty which led to his starting position of 17th on the grid, and was making his way through the grid when suddenly he lost all drive. In saving grace for Checo, he can still be very proud of his immense performance of finishing 4th in the championship despite missing 2 races due to COVID-19. Unfortunately, McLaren's strong drive, Perez's retirement and Stroll's 10th place finish saw their 3rd place in the Constructors fall to the papaya orange team McLaren, with Racing Point sitting incredibly disappointed today. McLaren brilliantly surpassed Racing Point in the Constructors' battle for P3 via strong drives from Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz Jr. Norris had a strong start off the line and a decent stint on the softs until Red Bull's Alex Albon overtook him and inherited 5th place from the Brit. Sainz Jr. also had an impressive final race for the Woking squad, finishing behind Norris and farewelling his orange team with a rendition of Smooth Operator as he cruised to his last post-race lap with Norris beside him. Charles Leclerc dedicated a Danke Seb helmet to his fellow teammate and mentor Sebastian Vettel for his last race in red today, and continued to pay his tribute by finishing out of the points and running a dismal race. In his defence, Ferrari's call to not pit Leclerc during the virtual safety car period was bizarre, but not completely unexpected from a disappointing strategy team this year, as Leclerc fell to the back of the pack as his tyre wear dropped and he subsequently finished in 13th. The Monegasque driver will be incredibly happy to see the back of the 2020 season, with better hopes for next year alongside his new teammate Carlos Sainz Jr. And our final winner of the day is none other than Sebastian Vettel, who makes our list for his win of never having to drive a Ferrari Formula One car again. Fingers crossed for a return to success for Vettel at Aston Martin next year and for better luck at Ferrari. What was your favourite moment of the 2020 season? And who was your biggest winner and loser from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Crash F1 for more Formula One content.